Intelligence quotient, IQ, is a measure of someone's intellectual intelligence and potential. This measurement was popularized in 1900s by a French psychologist named Alfred Binet. A score of 116 or more is considered above average. A score of 130 or higher signals a high IQ. Ladies and gentlemen, there is actually a membership for IQ. It is the membership in Mensa, and it is a high IQ society. This includes people who score in the top 2%, which is usually 132 or higher. It currently has 134,000 members. In this video, I am going to share how you can increase your IQ. Staying fit. While many of us can agree that working out is not an enjoyable experience at first, there are many benefits once you get into the groove of things, such as feeling good after a workout and increasing your stamina for what we'll call extracurricular activities. As it pertains to your brain, regular exercise changes the brain to improve memory and thinking skills. The heart pumps oxygenated blood to the brain, and this is needed for thinking. Exercising helps the body release hormones that provide a suitable environment for the growth of brain cells. According to a Harvard study, regular exercise changes the brain to improve other areas that require cognitive thinking. Music training. Most people played some kind of instrument as a child. The lasting impact of musical training is that most adults that played a musical instrument were better learners than others, with both visual and verbal stimuli. Music actually changes the brain, what neuroscientists call brain plasticity. You can actually understand material from a variety of angles. Music is also emotionally stimulating, which helps with creativity. Learn a new language. You can learn a new language, and every time you discover something new, you raise your cognitive abilities. People who understand more languages excel more socially and professionally. Researchers found that learning a new language expands the hippocampus, which controls learning and memory, and the frontal lobe, which moderates problem solving and language comprehension. More expansion means a higher IQ. Find a fun way to learn a new language with your family or friends. Avoid harming the brain. Well, that sounds pretty simple, but there are normal things that people do on a daily basis that harm the brain. Keeping that in mind, let's move on to things that are easier to incorporate into your day-to-day activities. Taking excess sugar for a long period of time inhibits the body from absorbing proteins and nutrients, thus interfering and actually stunting the body's growth. Stick to natural sugars like strawberries and raspberries. Not getting enough sleep is another factor. Lack of sleep decreases the size of your brain. Furthermore, it can cause the death of brain cells since sleep is the time that your brain gets rid of toxins. The hippocampus suffers from a lack of sleep. Lack of sleep impairs your memory, concentration, and decision making. Another factor is playing loud music. This can damage hearing, which is connected to loss of brain tissue in Alzheimer's. Give your ears a regular break too. You also need to watch out for overindulging with food. A prolonged high-calorie diet can increase a person's risk of developing memory loss or mild cognitive impairment, commonly known as MCI, later in life. A study published in the journal Neurology in 2012 examined 6,000 people who were 50 years old on average. The same participants were examined a decade later, and ones overweight had 22% higher deterioration of cognitive functions as compared to their slimmer counterparts. Your body is made of 70% water. It is vital to every bodily function. When your brain is operating on good levels of water, the exchange of nutrients and toxins will be more efficient. Researchers say even 2 hours of intense exercise without water can cause an immediate cognitive decline. Stay hydrated throughout the day to think faster and focus better. Are you smart though with a high IQ? No. According to David Perkins, who studies thinking and reasoning skills at Harvard Graduate School of Education in Cambridge, a high IQ is like height in a basketball player. It is very important, all other things being equal, but all other things aren't equal. There's a lot more to being a good basketball player than being tall, and there's a lot more to being a good thinker than having a high IQ, which leads to the next factor: compassion. Increase compassion. Let's compare identical intelligent twins. One twin uses intelligence to build a bomb for terrorism. The other uses intelligence to create a transportation system that improves people's lives. The difference between the two twins is compassion. It is rarely mentioned that increasing levels of compassion is associated with an increase in IQ. Maybe because everyone is expected to be compassionate, but actually, some people never had the opportunity to learn compassion, and others let emotions affect decision making. Having sympathy leads to mutually beneficial decisions and interactions. People that are compassionate tend to know they are valuable, and that increases self-esteem. A high self-esteem leads to increased motivation, which leads to the discovery of new experiences and ideas. It is hard to develop a higher IQ with low self-esteem. You can change your brain over time by nurturing it. Unless you're served with 10,000 tons of lemons from birth, your intelligence depends on what you do. Turn your lemons into apples. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information valuable, please like and subscribe for more videos.